Welcome to the session on proposal writing or typing for EPICS-in-IEEE. My name is Saurabh Sinha. I serve as an Associate Professor and Director of the Carl and Emily Fuchs Institute for Microelectronics, or CIFM. CIFM is an institute of the Department of Electrical, Electronic and Computer Engineering at the University of Pretoria in South Africa. Other than my scholarly work in the field of millimeter wave integrated circuit research, I also do consulting work. Both my works for the university and consultancy requires writing research grant proposals or business proposals. I have gotten used to writing proposals, and I hope that I can share some thoughts towards the EPICS-in-IEEE application or proposal with you today. I also volunteer for the IEEE in various capacities. Primary roles include my service to IEEE Region 8, which includes Europe, Middle East and Africa. I serve Region 8 as Vice Chair for Technical Activities. I also serve the IEEE through educational activities, and my role for this presentation relates in this regard. Kapil Dandekar of Drexel University in Philadelphia and I took forward the concept of engineering project in community service funded by Purdue University and expanded the initiative globally through the IEEE over the last 3 years. The word proposal takes its origin from marriages. The word got coupled with projects, which could be a plan, draft or a scheme. Perhaps the sound of jet, project, gives us that mental image that we need to move forward an idea to implementation. We see a proposal as the document providing a concept, program, and expenses. For many academics, researchers, and students, the word proposal appears to be daunting and often feared. As we, however, start to write or type the proposal, it fortunately gets better. As initial steps, browse, read the pages relating to the initiative, study example projects and their associated impacts. For EPICS-in-IEEE, there is a template for the proposal. Download that. There's also a frequently asked questions page. Please review. Here, you will also see that proposals are accepted on a rolling basis. No deadlines, but start working now anyway. Let us review the initiative EPICS-in-IEEE. EPICS-in-IEEE is one of the enablers to IEEE's tagline, Advancing Technology for Humanity. The tagline showcases the organization's basic tenet that IEEE and its members across the engineering, computing and technology community worldwide advance innovation and technological excellence for humankind. There exist several non-profit organizations or non-governmental organizations, such NPOs or NGOs, strive to contribute to humanity in various ways. If you're stuck, the organization World Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, or WANGO, provides a listing of various NPOs or NGOs in your area. You may also be at a university which already maintains relations with NPOs or NGOs. Such NPOs or NGOs may, however, lack the technology component which remains at the heart of our professional society, the IEEE. Through your local geographical unit or GEO-unit, the IEEE student branch, Gold entity, and others could partner with the NGO or NPO to deliver to the benefit of humanity or society at large. In the process, IEEE educational activities also envisages cooperation with pre-university or secondary high school learners. This early partnership develops multiple partners, at times a challenge for an IEEE Geo unit. For many student branches, this is less a problem. After all, they have recently come from a secondary school, or some links with their previous schooling may already exist. Another approach is to work with a university or college's marketing department. They may frequently work with schools or even at the level of academic departments. After all, universities, colleges, and such academic departments do recruit as well, and frequently from secondary schools. For EPICS in IEEE, it is intended that the community or society at large serves as the eventual recipient or beneficiary through the support of the NPO or NGO. The NPO or NGO partnership is also envisioned to sustain the project, and with active cooperation with the student branch, the hope is also to achieve project maintenance in the long term. As the project commences, or even at project proposal level, there may also be some external sponsors. Examples of external sponsors include companies who are keen to engage through the Social Corporate Responsibility Program, and the partnership with universities may make sense. Many companies may recruit from universities. In this case, there is a vertical and branching integration of various kinds involved. Let us review the template, which is accessible through the EPICS-in-IEEE website. A PDF and a Microsoft Word document is available. The PDF is also editable, and an option is made to submit the application by email. I will go through the template, as we will need the data gathered through discussions which will be held next. On the first page, we need to provide the title of project. This will be a concise description of the project, often 8 to 10 words. Contact and an alternate contact is required. It may be that the alternate contact be a faculty member, a student branch advisor, or counselor. It could also be a member of the student branch leadership or another project volunteer. IEEE is geographically organized as 10 regions. In case you're less familiar, the chart on the next slide will be helpful. IEEE geographically works through sections. We ask this information as finances will be coordinated through the section. We will also see the section as the entity responsible financially. If there is no section in your area, then the region could take responsibility, or if that is less convenient, then IEEE educational activities may enter into an agreement with your geographical entity or supporting organization. The student branch, which is a registered entity of the IEEE, is also required, but once again, if unavailable, then IEEE volunteers can discuss this with IEEE educational activities. We have seen EPICS in IEEE project applications leading to student branch creation. I had promised the chart for IEEE regions. Look where you are, and you will now know the region that you belong to. The second part of page 1 requests contact information of partners, but keep the question on roles in mind. I will read it. For the non-profit organization, what is the mission of non-profit or NGO, and how does the proposed project advance this mission? We're seeking alignment of the goals of the NPO and the IEEE. Ultimately, both have the humanity quest. IEEE could help from the technology perspective. The second question, in what way will the high school students participating in this effort learn and apply the principles of engineering and engineering design? How many students will be involved in the project? The last part of page 1 requests the project timeline, budget sum, and an agreement to provide reporting. On page 2, the title is repeated for convenience of reviewers. The project category or categories should next be identified. A short project description, usually a page or 2, is expected. The description describes the concept, supported by the individual roles of parties involved. A budget can be included as part of the description or separately as a spreadsheet. All documents are to be submitted to EPICS-in-IEEE through email. The PDF also makes provision for such a submission. We see this at the bottom of page 2. We have now identified some of the players. We have reviewed the template. Holding discussions with various may be a good idea. Remember to take notes during discussions. Why not use copies of the project application template to capture your notes? In this image, David Oyadakun of the University of Cape Town in South Africa discusses with a community in Imasithandane on project partnership between UCT and the community. In this case, the NPO was a children's orphanage. The NPO requested assistance with a review of their electricity costs and possible cost offsetting through solar power. IEEE is a transnational organization and our role is interesting too. In this example, we illustrate the interest of a student branch based in Portugal with an interest to work with a non-profit organization in Angola, a Portuguese-speaking country. Such links are quite possible and perhaps also manageable today with technologies such as Skype, Google Phone, etc. Languages and colonial ties in this case brokered the link. While holding discussions with the community, it would be a good idea to manage expectations around the concept but also discuss timelines. Some negotiation may be involved as EPICS-in-IEEE involves various parties, secondary schools, university students, and others. Varying schedules should be expected. The project time should be proposed or negotiated to accommodate the volunteer nature of the engagement. Take notes during your discussion, write or type telephone numbers, contact details, etc. Do this at your discussion. Avoid creating logistical commitments of emails, etc. afterwards. At times, this helps to reduce delay. Keep the emphasis and do things now. If you have a mobile phone or another way to record the conversation, do this. At times, listening to conversations afterwards helps for memory, but also for reflecting on the project. It's also great for a giggle a few years later. The student branch, at times, together with the NGO or NPO, may arrange a meeting with a local secondary or high school. For the purpose of this presentation and to distinguish from university or college students, I will refer to pre-university students as learners. Upon an engagement with the school, often through the head of department for the sciences, one may be able to identify an interested educator or teacher. In some areas, the engagement may require a formal memorandum of understanding, MOU, which could be established through the IEEE Geo Unit or at times through a MOU or reach out program that a given university may already have. The educator may identify a small group of learners from his or her school. The university student branch chair, perhaps supported by a project counselor or another faculty member, may hold a briefing with scholars. At times, this may be after regular school hours or via a school club. On the right-hand side of the project board, an EPICS-in-IEEE project on air quality monitoring is being discussed. In this example, the University of Pretoria in South Africa presents to St. Albans College, also in Pretoria. The interest here is to monitor air quality through the use of air quality microsensors. The university student, as part of his capstone final year undergraduate project, undertakes a first principle development of an air quality microsystem for a mobile platform. A part of the project is simplified for secondary school learners. Secondary school learners and their educator decide on an off-the-shelf approach where a smartphone will be coupled with an Android input-output device connected to air quality microsensors. The university student will use specialized sensors for sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, whereas the scholars will be detecting smoke. After all, this is a boys-only school and boarding is involved, perhaps thus relevant. A mobile phone will be used and data captured through Google Documents as a spreadsheet for ease of distribution through the Google Cloud. A secondary outcome would be to use the secondary school solution to illustrate the concept and components of a new Air Quality Act in South Africa to areas surrounding Pretoria which are disadvantaged. It may be a good idea to get a feel for the school calendar. So, did you take notes? By putting notes together, you may be ready to draft your proposal. A technical block diagram of the project as a whole could be helpful. Identify the roles to be played or facilitated by the NPO/NGO, secondary school learners and university students. It's time to handle the second page of the proposal. The title, project category and description is needed. The description should be supported by a timeline, a program and budget. There may be a piece of the proposal that you have to do on your own as the project leader. Discipline yourself for an afternoon. Avoid the distractions and let the distractions avoid you. Get the paperwork done. A quiet afternoon or an evening or even an early morning if that's what you prefer. A calendar and calculator spreadsheet is what you'd need. Here's a typical project timeline. Remember to add some project slack. Remember, different schedules could apply for the secondary school and the university. Keep the project timeline expectation from the community and the NPO or NGO in mind. Here's a sample budget sheet. The committee has approved budgets from $1,000 to even $25,000 in the past. The typical budget has been between $3,000 and $4,000. The committee seldom rejects proposals but frequently advises to collaborate with other groups or organizations for funding. For instance, if the NPO or NGO offers cost sharing in cash or by offering personnel time or catering or even a venue, such deepens the commitment. This is not required but helpful. Your budget may constitute of project supplies, transportation, stationery and overheads. Overheads could be between 10 and 25% and should be budgeted if required. EPICS-in-IEEE tends to commit costs towards project supplies, but you may have some minor transportation costs such as a visit to the nearby secondary school. Long distance travel is not funded by EPICS-in-IEEE, and if necessary, secondary funding should be solicited for such. Now that your proposal is drafted, send it over for comments to all involved. Specify a deadline for comments. In some cases, you may want to state that if you don't receive comments, say within a week, then everybody's happy. It's a good idea to be reasonable and keep holiday periods in mind. Volunteers may work overnight, but you may be working with an NGO or NPO staff who may be available during office hours only. Within your team, you may have someone that can assist to proofread your proposal. Even if you're a native speaker of the English language, it's easy to miss your own mistakes. Ask another person to check. Do not simply trust the built-in spell or language checking feature of your Word or PDF processor. Ask a real person if available. Remember, your reviewers do not know you, but will know you through your typed and submitted proposal. The reviewers are volunteers and busy. Therefore, writing concisely, correct grammar and punctuation will be something they will appreciate. I think we are now ready to submit. Submit through email, and if applicable, please copy your section chair and other key student branch leaders. If you don't receive an email acknowledgement within 3 working days, please follow up to ensure that IEEE professional staff partners received your documentation. You will receive feedback for your proposal within 30 to 45 days. You will then receive a review for your proposal. The feedback could be a yay or nay. If it's completely rejected, a brief reasoning would be provided. Many times, you will receive constructive feedback, review, and submit your updated proposal to the email address shown. If or once your proposal is accepted, it's time to get to work. Speak to your project partners and remember interim project reports that you promised. Thank you for partaking in this presentation. The call for proposals is now open, and it's time to propose to make the changes you wanted to see in the world. Thank you for volunteering.